are expecting us to do it. That's why they want a trial on Mayorkas. And I think it is so wrong that Chuck Schumer is trying to table
I can't keep up with all the issues you're throwing at me, Senator. We came today to talk about solitary confinement in federal prisons, and I hope we can get back to that subject. At this point, Senator Kennedy is recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here. I'm sorry I was late. I was in another committee. I want to ask each of you this question, and if you would be mindful of the fact that I only have 5 minutes, so if you could each maybe give me a 1-minute answer. If a bill were before, and I want to talk about prisons, federal prisons in general. If a bill were before the Senate to abolish solitary confinement in federal prisons, what exceptions, if any, would you recommend that we include in that bill? Can we start down here?
Senator GAO would not make any recommendations until we've had an opportunity to review the bill.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Senator. At this time, I don't have an answer for you.
Okay. Sir?
I would recommend that you follow what the Texas Commission on Jail Standards has done and follow the lead of Brandon Wood and the outstanding leadership that the state of Texas has taken.
What exceptions did they recommend?
There are some exceptions within there for minor infractions. There is a list of things that you cannot put people in solitary confinement for. I don't have a comprehensive list of it right now, but I'd be more than happy to obtain that for you. So we have over 600 points of compliance at local jails in the state of Texas that we must keep up. And so we work to ensure that we comply with all of those. And separation cells are one of the many things that we deal with. So, but I think if the federal government wishes to look at what the state of Texas has done, I think it would be beneficial if there is a problem.
Doctor?
Senator, I am here to talk about the health effects more so than the exceptions, but I would say that I would recommend looking to the alternatives to solitary confinement that already exist in multiple cities and states and potentially understand what exceptions they use to help inform your policy changes.
I must have asked a dumb question because I didn't get any answers. Let me try it another way. Are there any instances in the real world that we live in that, in your judgment, solitary confinement is appropriate? Doctor, we'll start with you this time.
Senator, your question builds off of what Chair Durbin had actually said earlier about who might need solitary confinement. I think for me as a health professional, what I find problematic is the current definition and use of solitary confinement of 22 hours a day.
Doctor, I appreciate that, but
I don't think that there are...
Can you answer my question?
Yes. Yes, sir. I don't think that there are uses of solitary confinement in its current iteration of 22 hours a day for anyone. Okay. I think that certain people need to be separated.
Thank you for being straightforward.
Yes, you're welcome.
I appreciate finally getting an answer. It's Sheriff, right?
Yes, sir.
Sheriff, are there any circumstances in your experience when solitary confinement is appropriate?
Yes, sir. I'll give you a list of some of the ones that are listed in the Texas Jail Commission. Interfering with a...
In a heated Senate hearing, the issue of solitary confinement in federal prisons takes center stage. Senators and witnesses clash over whether this controversial practice has any place in the American justice system. Senator John Kennedy presses for direct answers, highlighting the complexities of prison management, inmate safety, and human rights. What unfolded was a tense and eye-opening exchange. The hearing began with concerns that broader political debates, such as impeachment discussions, were distracting from the real issue, solitary confinement. Senator Kennedy quickly redirected the focus, asking witnesses if they would support abolishing solitary confinement in federal prisons, and if not, what exceptions should apply. The responses, however, were vague and cautious, leaving Kennedy visibly frustrated. Witnesses struggled to give a clear stance. Some referred to existing state models like Texas, which uses separation cells under strict compliance standards. Others pointed to alternative approaches in different states, emphasizing the importance of mental health and rehabilitation. But when Kennedy asked for specific exceptions such as when solitary confinement might be appropriate, most avoided a direct answer. Frustrated, Senator Kennedy reframed his question. Are there any real-world situations where solitary confinement is necessary? Finally, answers began to emerge. A health professional rejected its use altogether, arguing that 22 hours of isolation was inhumane. But sheriff representatives defended limited use, citing attempted escapes, possession of weapons, assaults on staff, and gang-related violence as situations where separation was essential for safety. Sheriff testimony revealed how Texas avoids the term solitary confinement, instead using separation cells. According to their standards, inmates still have access to sunlight, exercise, phone calls, publications,
in which we are required to do twice a day. Attempted escape.
So if someone interferes with the head count, that they should be in solitary confinement. They should
Yes,
be?
yes,
Okay.
that's something that
What
they
else? I
can.
interrupted you. I just want to be sure I understand. What else?
Yes. So attempted escape, possession of weapon, attacking jailers or inmates, destroying security equipment within the facility. Those are all ones that are listed in the code for the state of Texas.
Okay. Are there any other?
Sometimes we use separation cells in order to separate gang members during times of unrest. Sometimes we utilize separation cells when somebody comes in initially in order to prevent them from talking with or intimidating other
What do you
witnesses.
mean by separation cells?
It's a single person cell. So we will put them in a single person cell so that they cannot intimidate any of the co-conspirators in a case. And I'll give you a good example being down on the border.
Control. Senator Kennedy's persistence forced witnesses to confront the issue directly, though consensus remains far out of reach. With mental health, human rights, and prison security all at stake, the debate over solitary confinement is far from over. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and also hit the subscriber button for more political showdown.